Well, hello and welcome back to the Andrew Eborn Show with me, Andrew Eborn. And we're looking at the world and the problems that exist, particularly regarding climate and the environment, but also on a more positive side, looking at some of the solutions. And I'm delighted to be joined again by Sev Clarke. How are you doing, Sev?
I'm doing well, thanks. Good to
Fantastic.
be
So
back.
tell me today, what are we looking at in particular today?
Well, we're looking at a thing called ice shields, which is ice thickening. Now, we're losing polar ice and its reflectiveness and habitat. The polar bears are in trouble, the seals are in trouble, the people living up there are in trouble. We're getting methane emissions coming from the Arctic Sea at a very worrying rate, and the weakening of the polar vortex and the overturning currents are playing havoc with weather right around the globe, but particularly for people around in the Northern Hemisphere, like the UK.
And what is your solution to that?
Well, the solution addresses a number of problems: biodiversity loss, extreme weather events, ocean stratification, pathogen release from those melting clathrates, and boreal forest death, which we're seeing in Siberia. The solution is to thicken polar ice, and that can be done using floating wind turbines that generate grounded ice arrays using Arctic wind power. Now, in each cold season, sea ice or lenticular ice shields can be thickened by up to hundreds of meters. Shipping and wildlife channels can still be provided, and the open polynyas, the little gaps between the shields, can be left unfrozen for air-breathing people, whales, and other organisms.
And the method, talk to me a bit more about the method then as to how this works.
Sure. We all know what a wind turbine is. We probably most of us know what a floating wind turbine is. Now, if you take a 2.5 megawatt wind turbine, which is fairly small nowadays, and use each one of those, can probably grow up to 15 5-kilometre square ice shields over its lifetime. That's an awful lot of land or awful lot of sea, which is losing ice, which we can turn back into stable ice. Each turbine is linked by power line to satellite pumping stations that grow an iceberg around them. It's rather like building a mountain, only instead of using lava, we use intermittently pumped seawater, which runs down the sides, partly freezing as it goes. As brackish ice forms, the residual brine concentrate gases and salts and may absorb more carbon dioxide and oxygen from the air. And at the edge of each shield, the dense shield brine falls off the edge, takes with it the carbon dioxide and sequestered gases right to the seabed, where the dissolved carbon dioxide then reacts with seabed carbonates to form benign and long-lived dissolved bicarbonate. During warm seasons, power can be used to generate marine cloud, but also reflect solar heat. And during cold seasons, ocean heat is released to the atmosphere, bypassing the ice's insulating effect. Thermals forming over each ice shield will take ocean heat energy to the tropopause, where it radiates away safely.
Fantastic. Well, it all sounds really, really exciting stuff about the method. Talk to me then about the net benefits.
Okay, the first benefit we'd see is Arctic habitat restoration. So we can save the polar bears, save the seals, save the penguins, and save all the things which are living under, on, and in the ice. The second thing is we're removing carbon dioxide at a large scale and at very low cost, basically the capital cost of the wind turbines. And we're oxygenating the deep ocean, which some of you will know is being depleted in oxygen and going anoxic, which is really, really bad. We're also reducing extreme weather events, leading to better agricultural productivity and less harm. And finally, we're reducing methane emission reduction, and we're getting net global cooling. All of those things are good things.
All of those things sound fantastic things, and it's always good not just to talk about the problems, but to actually look at solutions. And if people want to find out more, do pop along to Envisionation.org, where we're not only foreseeing the future, but forming it as well. I always say as a futurist that the best way to predict the future is to make it. And I think with some of these solutions that we're looking at, Sev, there's a real opportunity for change, isn't there?
We believe there is, and we're trying to help research organisations and businesses and governments to do that very thing.
Fantastic. Sev Clarke, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks again. Bye now.